Residents? Yes. Mr. Glass.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and council members. My name is Jordan Glass. I'm an attorney representing Field Harbor. I appeared before you about 2 months ago when Hen Island had advised you that its board had not yet had the opportunity to meet because they didn't have a quorum. I considered how gracious it was of you to allow them to dictate to you when it was going to meet instead of the other way around. I understand they didn't have a quorum, but if it was as important to them as their attorney had represented to you, they could have had a telephone meeting and come back to you with their answer much quicker. I think this is endemic to the larger lethargy surrounding Hen Island, which I'll address in a moment. I remember last time, too, when the issue arose of what people should say to their children about the van that Mr. Tartaglione had around town. And my supplemented answer is this. The people on Hen Island live on one of the most bucolic dots of land in all of Westchester. The views are pastoral, the quiet is covetable, the tranquility is unequaled. Yet they are blessed with more than almost everyone around them. They are allowed to pollute and generate the potential of disease and illness outside their own borders with impunity and even the protection of the government. That's the kind of debauchery that the Bourbon kings of France perpetrated on their people, and we all know how that ended up. The same selfish homeowners had to be brought to court to get them to cut their grass. And you're going to put these same people in charge of handling human effluents. If they don't have the composting toilets set up correctly and with electricity, and by the way, at least 10 of those homes do not have electricity at all, they will have to empty the units and store the effluents in 55-gallon drums in the sun for a full year before those drums can meet the minimum health risk remediation requirements. Covered water tanks don't stop mosquitoes. Even if the tanks were to be sealed, it doesn't stop the mosquitoes in the reed areas of the island where the residents dump their garbage and their leaves. They don't maintain that property, and the decomposing waste is left to rot right on the edge of renaming. Those homeowners with electricity only have solar-powered systems. Those are limited in scope, duration, and wattage, and they may not be strong enough to power the composting system toilets properly. Incorrectly powered systems will create more of an environmental and health hazard than you have at the moment. This means that they will have to remove the compost prematurely and that the raw effluents will be dropped along the edge of the Long Island Sound. Or 55-gallon drums filled with effluents will blossom like hogweeds, only to be blown over in the next winter storm and float around the Long Island Sound. That happened before once with propane tanks. But easy isn't always the answer. Sometimes correct is the only answer, even if it's more difficult. Jim Collins said, and I think I said this once to you before, good is the enemy of great. And this may seem like a good temporary solution, but in fact it's not a solution at all. It only makes the matter worse, much worse. The Kirby Lane project was for a 27-home sewer system, and an environmental impact study was prepared 2 years before the project was approved. For purposes of this point, I don't believe it matters that the Kirby Lane homeowners wanted the sewers installed. The point is that there was a requirement that the study be completed. Here you have 34 homes and no studies, and this council and this administration have taken the lead role where irresponsible homeowners will not. The four Hen Island issues are tied together, those being potable water, sewage disposal, mosquito infestation, and lack of conventional property maintenance. The mosquitoes don't say, well, they're fixing the water tanks, so we won't lay our eggs in the reed this year. Let's see if they get it all together. They lay their eggs wherever they find standing water. It would cost these homeowners for their vacation homes, even in the face of the fact that many other people are being foreclosed upon, about $167 a month to do the safe and environmentally sound thing. There are 10 homes with no electricity, as I said, so even installing the composting toilets is not a realistic possibility that they can abide by, even if they agree to it. Composting toilets are legal nowhere in Westchester. Why would you want to be the first to have them located here on the shores of the Long Island Sound? If there was ever a time to scream NIMBY, not in my backyard, this is it. And this time, of course, we're doing it to ourselves because of selfish homeowners and a council that's not exercising its power. You're not being asked to exceed your authority. You're being asked to exercise well below the limits of your authority. This is not an example of government intrusion. This is an example, the request, of government stepping in to protect 15,000 residents against 33 selfish homeowners. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else like to speak?